disheveled, unshowered. That's about right. Wearing rags and looking like an old rag. Yeah, probably not too far from the fact. So I just had some experiences recently that I had inspired me to have a few ideas, and I thought I'd share those ideas with you all and see how it goes. I always just start filming and let the words come to me, and they might at times be profound, they might at times be pointless, and I'm okay with that. That's life, right? We hover on this knife edge of meaninglessness, profundity, just to try to sound deep, you know. So I mentioned just today on the fake book that I've been hearing more and more people, and one recently in my extended family, my immediate little sphere of people I know in real life, who, you know, she was living with a elderly lady and her son, and you know, I'm choosing my words carefully as not to cause any drama. But wouldn't you know it, they were both injected, and both of them just recently. And again, it's like the perfect timing, right? It's just I think it was just 3 weeks after the injections that, wouldn't you know it, they came down with the Rona. And despite the fact that they've been injected, and on top of that now they've actually have a case positive, whatever that means. They should have nothing to fear, right? But no, they're still paranoid out of their minds, evidently, and listening to way too much just fear-peddling liars on the news media. And wouldn't you know it, this extended family member, she's been asked to either get injected or she has to leave. She can no longer stay with him. You know, despite how helpful she's been up to this point. And this is just like the prime example of just the dehumanization. You know, all these little wedges that this entire myth of a pandemic has created in society. And, you know, I've heard people that are like, I can't talk to my family members. You know, one guy, and I know him from way back, I sold him a, what do they call it, a kickbox. It was an antique steamer trunk, you know, like an old suitcase, solid wood suitcase, and had this awesome little red racing stripe on the side of it, and he turned it into he's a musician, and like a singer-songwriter, awesome at the guitar. I wish I could play as good as this kid on the guitar. And now he's in like Michigan, maybe I'm wrong, Michigan. And so yeah, he turned that into he still uses to this day a instrument that he sits on while he plays guitar. Really cool, talented musician. And unfortunately, most of his friends are liberals, and he can't even talk to his closest friends about this topic. And he's like, man, you know, what do you think I should do? Like, they might require it at my job, and I don't want to take it. And And this is just so insane. This climate of fear and the stigma that they've created. Like literal lepers, right? I mean, remember Trump used to call it the plague? The plague. Yeah, this is the mindset, the plague mindset that they're nurturing, that they are developing, incubating, germinating in the minds of the population right now. I call it the catalyst for the beast mind, because, you know, in order to have the majority demand that this small minority be put to death over the mark of the beast, you know, you have to have this kind of authoritarian, fearful mindset that, and you know, people will be on a global scale, they'll be to a breaking point where they're just like, you know what, enough is enough. We just want peace. And that's what it says in the Bible. That's what the main rally points, or the main narrative that the whole world will be demanding is peace, because we've had war for so long. That's how the dialectic works, you know, back and forth, the pendulum swings. And so we've had so much war and so much anxiety, fear, right? Men's hearts failing them for fear. What do you think the media is doing right now to the population of the world? It's 24/7. Every time I hear, I don't watch the TV myself, but anytime I hear anybody with the TV on, it's on there 24/7. Fear, fear, fear. There's something more to fear. Oh, really? Every day there's something new to fear. There's a new freaking variant in the works. You can be sure of that. And Jesus says, you know, when you see all these things happening, do not fear. And that's key, right? Because what do people do instinctively when they're driven by fear? They look to corrupt leaders in positions of power to keep them safe. And what is Biden's talking point? This isn't about freedom, guys. This isn't about choice. This is about safety. Yeah, no, it's not about safety, because there's nothing safe in accepting this idea that these corrupt health agencies that are bought off by special interest, lobbyists in big pharma, you know, the revolving door of all these heads of Pfizer, now head of the FDA, and corrupt corporatocracy, corporate fascism, making mandates of its own people to inject into their bodies whatever they can come up with, whatever mystery, cutting edge, new untested technology that they can come up with. They're going to mandate you put it in your body. That is not safe, okay? I don't know how else to make that any clearer. And I know a lot of you that watch my videos are, you know, you're in this little information bubble, and we're all kind of preaching to the choir. Because that's how big tech has us all in our little information prisons, you know, to where this is how they control the information nowadays. It used to be the free spread of information. The internet was like this enlightened idea, and, you know, ideas can travel across the globe, you know, fractions of a second. It's like, no, not anymore. It's like, it's all about control. Everything has always been about control. And it's just sad. So I know people personally close to me that have been basically persecuted. How do you get around the fact that this is not discrimination? And it is not legal to discriminate based on people's personal medical decisions. And the mindset that it takes for somebody to think that they can dictate what you put in your body before they can offer you services at a business, at a place of work, whether they can offer you a job. A bunch of freaking authoritarian Nazis, all right? And I'm sick of like parsing words and trying to act nice. These people need to be shouted down, right? Whatever happened to the bleeding heart liberals, and they're also worried about the bullies in the classrooms and schools and online and social media. What do you think they're doing right now to anybody who has a second guess about lining up to become part of this medical experiment? You got the President of the United States bullying school children and their parents into getting injected. I mean, I cannot think of a more, the concept bully pulpit comes to mind, because when you're in a position of authority like that, whether you believe Biden is your president or not, he's in that position, right? And they were so concerned about big bad bully Trump, tearing apart people's characters, calling them naughty words. Well, you know what? When you have a president in that highest office of the land, demanding, shaming, threatening, using sanctions, and what do they say? The popular saying was, and this is how degrading and stupid and cattle-like they view the population when you hear these bobbleheads in the media parroting this talking point that, oh, Biden has put away the carrots, now he's taking out the stick. Yeah, because you're a little freaking cattle, you're a little sheep, you're a sheeple, and that's how they get you to do things, by bribery, by dangling a carrot in front of your face. What was it, all these awesome incentives they came up with, like a free dollar menu at McDonald's, free burgers and fries at a Shake Shack in New York City. De Blasio was trying to push that one. Krispy Kreme donuts. I mean, come on. Free ice cream. I mean, come on. Anything that appeals to your fleshly desires was just rolled out on a freaking silver platter. If you just line up for this free injection. And it's pathetic. And I hope more and more people see the obvious. And stop and ask yourself, why are they still using, if this variant is already so prevalent? And that's the main concern, right? Because it's so contagious. Even though they never talk about the death rates, the variant is so contagious, the Delta. Then why are they still administering the outdated, basically expired? Did I use that frickin' word? Okay, the injections. I think this propaganda climate that they've created is literally so insane and so inconsistent and so confusing. Like the Soviet model. You don't know who to trust anymore. Soviet propaganda. I've heard interviews, and that's what the people that lived through that talk about. You couldn't trust any source because everybody had an agenda, and that's how it is today. And then it is kind of like a watering down effect of the truth when you hear it. It's like, yeah, and this moral relativism, this everybody has their own truth, relativistic mindset. Again, just waters down the truth. We don't, we hear things, yeah, maybe, I don't know, might be true. And the lazy, or I guess they're just mentally lazy, don't care to ever seek after the truth, right? And connect all those dots and do their own research, think critically, which is apparently a really uncommon character trait these days. I think the public education and the continual distraction of the media. Anyway, that's what happens when I stick a camera in front of me. I just start rambling and ranting, but I hope it resonates with some of you out there. And just, basically I started out wanting everybody to know that time's getting tough. And, now this extended family member of ours, she has to look into moving back in with her parents because she doesn't have anywhere else to go, and she doesn't have a lot of money, and she's, and that is the point, I think, with these ever more tyrannical measures and mandates. It's to make life, and they've already admitted this, some of the bobbleheads on the idiot box have already admitted that, you know what, it's too easy to get away with not getting the injection. We need to make life really hard on these people. So who do you suppose the demographic is right now with the crosshairs on them? All the people that don't bow down and worship, blind faith worship government. And the ones that are naturally skeptical of governments, and the ones who have been paying attention, since 9/11 and beyond, to see and remember, critically think and do their own research and realize that everything the media tells you is a complete and total lie. That's the demographic, right? And in particular, I think it was interesting, and it's convenient that they had Trump kind of lead this thing out with the Operation Warp Speed, just kick the ball down the hill towards the New World Order. And Biden, of course, just inherited it happily, and he'll take full advantage of, Trump didn't do enough, right? That's the logic. And I keep hearing from these bobbleheads on like CNN and MSNBC and these other freaking Nazi news networks, like, Biden isn't doing enough. We want more. So they're trying to create that, again, the dialectic that Biden is the moderate position, right? No, he's not. He's a freaking tyrant. And he's shown his teeth already. It hadn't taken long since he's been in office to demonstrate, what spirit he's operating under. But yeah, it's convenient that Trump rolled this out. And who do you think would be the biggest opposition to government-mandated injections into you and your kids? Probably the Patriot types, maybe, the American First, the ones who wanted to drain the swamp and not be injected with the swamp. That's my theory. So yeah, it's like this little opiate. And you still hear him stumping, Freudian slip, Trump stumping for the injections to this day. Like down there in Georgia, where he got booed for desperately trying to stump for the injections. So yeah, I feel the burn, and I think we're all gonna start, the less we cave to these worldly pressures and these unconstitutional mandates and the peer pressures. That's all it is. It's like high school peer pressure. There's no law to back up this crap, but it's like, oh, the president said so, we better all do it now. You don't want to stand out. You don't want to get your head chopped off for sticking your head up, saying, hey, wait a minute, this is bull crap. You got to fall in line. This is how this is how it feels like to live in, like, say, China. You know, you get rewarded for bowing down, kissing the feet, and worshiping the state, and you get penalized if you don't go along and you say something naughty about the person in power, or what's his name, Xing Chong Xing, or whatever the heck his name is, who's at the head of China right now. This is the, like, social credit score system.